Southfield, yeah.
Okay, where did they send you then?
They sent me to Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. Okay. And where was your assignment there?
That was school,
School, oh, okay. Okay.
20 weeks.
Okay. What type of school was it?
What type of school?
What training was involved?
I learned about fighters.
Oh, okay.
Wildcats, Hellcats, Corsairs,
Mm-hmm.
and one other. We learned everything about aircraft, fighter, because
Mm-hmm.
when I got through, I would be sent out into the field, and I would take care of the planes. So the pilots would learn
Oh, okay.
how to fly. I would, eventually, of course, I got my rating. I took a test, and I learned.
Mhm.
And I would work in aircraft. I did everything except ordnance, machine gun, electrical,
Okay.
but everything else I did. And
Oh, okay. What was your specialty called? Was that a name?
aviation machinist mate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I took care of everything
All right.
mechanical.
Okay. Okay. And how did you like this?
It was interesting.
Okay, for 20 weeks you trained to do.
They trained me. Oh yeah, remember I told you that the way they set it up?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. You take the station, maybe the engine for a week, the body,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of 20 weeks, I knew that these aircraft,
Okay.
backwards and forwards. I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, that day after day after day,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Right.
Now, at Jacksonville, the Marines were there too.
Mm-hmm.
They had their Corsair, because they couldn't land on the flight deck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the Navy, they had Navy, sailors, and Marines,
Mm-hmm.
And they learned about the Corsairs in the upper wing. You know what the Corsairs?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
With the bent wing.
There you go, right, flying the seagull type.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew, so after 20 weeks, they shipped me out. I went to where? They sent me to Sanford, Florida.
Oh, okay. So you almost became a resident of Florida.
I didn't know at the time that Orlando
Mm-hmm.
was going to become what it did.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time, in 1943, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 43. Yeah, 20 weeks. Yeah, right. It was all, you know, it was, I remember the hotel in Orlando was the only big building in town. I went there once for Liberty and slept on a couch, it was nothing.
Okay.
I was at Sanford, and fighters, Wildcats.
Okay.
Night flying.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on the planes.
Mm-hmm.
One of my planes blew up, but that's another story. It was a court martial, but I was innocent. But that's another story.
Okay.
And then, I think by the end of 43, 44, yeah, they shipped me out.
Okay.
I requested to be shipped out. The things I was getting personally involved. They had waves. You know what waves are?
Yeah, female.
Yeah.
Right.
And I became becoming emotionally involved, and
Mm.
so I made a provision to be shipped out.
Okay. Now, Sanford, was that primarily a training place for a fighter pilot?
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
This is all. That's all it is. Like I put down. I'm backup
Mm-hmm.
for making sure these planes
Mm-hmm.
are available for the pilots. 90-day wonders.
Right. Okay.
They come 90 days, come in
Mm-hmm.
and go through their training. There were many of them, of course, that never left, got killed,
Mhm.
crashes and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But that's my purpose. That was my job, to make sure that these planes.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on a lot of planes that cracked up, and I had to work on them.
Sure.
They trained me on this stuff.
Sure. Sure. Now, how long were you at Sanford?
How old?
How long were
Oh,
you?
how long? I think